What's up YouTube, this is DWS Darius, and right now you're looking at my 210 gallon American cichlid tank. Now as the title says, this is going to be my 2016 Fishroom update. Now before I get into that, I just want to thank all my subscribers, both new and old. I want to thank you all for just taking the time to watch my videos, to show that support, to give me those likes, to give me those comments. I really appreciate it all. It really just inspires me to keep going in this fish keeping hobby. So I ask that you continue doing it. And I thank you for all that you have already done. So now let me show you guys the first tank. Now this is my 210 gallon tank, as I said before. This tank is not actually in my fish room, it's actually in my little office area, my computer over here and all of that. But this is like the main display tank of the house because it's on the main level. Right there I have windows. Sometimes I open up the shades to let the people outside see it. But yeah, this is really my show tank. I really can't do too much as far as decorating the inside because these fish will destroy many of the setups. A lot of times you could catch them fighting that little one plant that I have over there on the left side. And sometimes they try to push the rocks and driftwood, so I'm really limited with how much I can design it inside. But this is how it looks as of today. So first off, the main star fish of the tank is right here, my 14-inch albino red Oscar. And this is just a really beautiful fish. I love the balance of his colors, and his personality is just much better than the way he looks. He's a beautiful fish, and his personality goes way beyond his look, so it's definitely an awesome fish. I've had him now for almost 4 years, so he's a beautiful fish. Right next to him is my 9-inch male red devil cichlid, and another beautiful fish. You can see the patches on his eyes that look very unique. I love the trail on his fins, very nice and long. And if you look at pictures of this fish when he was a juvenile, he had a huge transformation. And as far as this fish's personality, right now I don't know if it's just a phase or what, but he's perfectly peaceful. I'm even convinced if I put him in my planter tank, he could get along with them because he's just extremely peaceful. He doesn't eat small fish. He doesn't really get into too many fights. He's just a peaceful fish. I'm not sure if it's just a phase, but I'm loving his peacefulness. Now back there is my male Midas cichlid. He's about 6 inches, and this fish is just really becoming a stud. I mean, a buff, strong looking fish. You can see that this camera keeps going on that automatic focus, but you can see that nuchal hump is just looking nice and strong, and I just love this fish because he looks just so strong. Now on the screen I have some pictures of this fish when he was a juvenile, and you can see this camera is just going crazy with this focusing. I'm trying to use a new lens, so I have it on this automatic focusing, so that's why it's giving me so many problems. But yeah, this fish is just really beefy, and I'm loving it because he's just living up to that Midas name, really tough and beefy, and he's not really aggressive. You would think that having a male Midas and a male Red Devil would mean just terrible problems, and actually there's no problems between these two at all. Not once have I seen these two go at it, and they've been in the tank for about 2 months together, so that's awesome. So right next to them we have this female chocolate cichlid. She's another cool fish. She's kind of like a cat. If you ever kept a house cat, you know they are like solitary, they stay to themselves, and altogether they're just a little weird. I say the same thing about this chocolate cichlid. She stays to herself, and I think she's just a little weird. Just her personality is really odd. I think if she was to be able to take on another form of an animal, she would be a cat because cats are weird. But yeah, this is my chocolate cichlid. She does all different types of things. She's very moody. Sometimes she's very aggressive. Sometimes she's very peaceful. Sometimes she's very shy. She changes colors a lot of times. She lays eggs randomly. Just a very weird fish. That's the chocolate cichlid, and one of the oldest fish in the tank. But she's still cool, a very decent looking fish. Over here we have my jaguar cichlid, and she's probably the toughest fish in this tank. If she was a male, I could imagine that he would just go crazy on these other fish. But she's a female, so her size is limited, and therefore her aggression is limited as well. But yeah, she's definitely the beastliest fish in this tank. If I add any fish 3 inches or smaller, she will be eating it. So she's definitely a tough fish. And over here I have this female Midas cichlid, and she's actually his sister. a few months ago I had these two in a tank together with another female. I had a little divider because I was trying to get them to spawn. He actually broke through the divider. He killed the other female and he had her half dead. And now it's really not too many other problems since they have so many distractions. But I don't think they're going to be able to be paired up because, well, as of now, I don't think they'll be able to pair up because he's just aggressive when it comes to her and him one-on-one. And the last fish in this tank is this little, if you look right there, you can see his tail. It's a little bitcher. It's a fancy type of bitcher. I forget the full name of it, but this is his life. He spends his life in this little log, and yeah, really not too much to say about him. I come at night, he's in a log. I come in the daytime, he's in a log. He just lives in a log. So, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with that guy. But yeah, this is the current look of the tank. Of course, I do plan on changing. If you look at some of my Google Plus posts, you can see that I have a monster fish growing out that is suited for this tank. So yeah, expect some changes. But yeah, this right here is my 210 gallon fish tank. Okay YouTube, so now we are in the fish room. Currently there are 7 tanks set up and running. And I'm just going to give you guys a little walkthrough to show you what's going on. So first off, on the left we have my 55 gallon planet tank. And this is definitely one of my most relaxing tanks. It'll be peaceful. All the fish get along nicely and it's just a very nice tank to watch. So the main plants in this tank are the jungle val, which is to the right of the tank. Across the back wall I have just that crypspiralis, that curly plant is just taking over all over. It's coming to the front as well. To the left I have a huge Amazon sword. Across the substrate I have some dwarf sage. If you look back there I have a tiger lotus and some anubias scattered on this driftwood. And as of now, I think this tank is just too unorganized. The plants are out of order. The fish are there's just too many different types of fish in my opinion. So eventually what I want to do is bring a more organized scape, have just certain types of plants in their own sections instead of just so mixed up. And when it comes to fish, I want to be able to keep maybe 3 to 4 different species of fish and not so many. I have about close to 15 different species of fish. So I want to narrow that down and just bring a little bit more organization to this tank, but that's going to be a project in the future. Currently, I am battling some hair algae, and that's because my CO2 system failed me a couple of months ago, and I didn't know it, but it wasn't adding CO2, so with the lights, everything became unbalanced. But right now, I have the CO2 running again, trying to get that balance again. So I do expect to make some changes with this tank, so stay tuned for that. Now, to the right, we have one of my favorite tanks with one of my favorite fish now, the buttercopherite tilapia cichlid. Now, when I first bought him, he was about a ½ inch. Now he's 7 inches. Definitely a beastly fish. I have to keep him solo because if he's with any other fish, he will fight and attempt to kill that fish. I have managed to keep some giandania with him, and that's just because these fish are extremely fast and he can't catch them. But yeah, this is definitely a beastly fish. Whenever I do water changes, one day I have to make a video, but he just goes crazy on my hand, trying to just destroy me. A very interesting fish. I just love how aggressive he is and just how much personality he's picking up. Definitely a beast in the fish room. The biggest fish in the fish room as of now. But yeah, he's awesome. Right below that, this is my first time actually keeping guppies. I'm starting to keep different types of guppies. I used to keep my killifish in here with them, but my killifish, the male got a little aggressive, so right now he's in the main planet tank up there. So as of now, I just have different types of guppies, and I'm just going to see what I could do with them. Maybe start breeding them. Right there was a school of Arminos tetra. But the main fish in this tank are the guppies, but I'm not going to focus too much on this tank until everything starts to get more established. To the right, we have this 90 gallon tank, and this is really just a grow out tank. You can see this guy in here, this Venustus. I have to take him out the African cichlid tank because I've been keeping my African cichlid tank now for about 2 years without any aggression, and that's because the hierarchy was pretty much the same. My cobalt red top zebra was the boss, which is this beautiful fish right here. He was the main boss of the tank. However, this Venustus, you see how big he is, about 5 inches. That 5 inches started to play a role in his mind, and he started to become very aggressive. And he took half of the tank and kept all the fish on the other side. So right now he's in this tank so he can lose his ranking. However, he's the biggest fish in our African cichlid tank, so I'm not sure how much it's going to really affect him this little time out, but we'll see. But as far as the fish in this tank, we have my three, what are these guys? The three, I'm brain dead for a moment. I just completely forgot the names of these fish. Oh yeah, we have those guys. We have my parrot pair. And we have this awesome, one of my favorite fish. This is my male green terror cichlid. And can you believe that this male green terror cichlid at 2 inches has spawned with that female who's 4 inches, and the batch was actually successful. However, because he is so small, he couldn't help her defend him from the rest of the fish in his tank. So eventually I'm going to take him and her and throw them in that empty 55 back there. But I just wanted to wait so he could pick up a little bit more on size. But he's definitely, look at a power pair. He's half her size and he's already spawning, and look at the colors on this guy. So he's definitely becoming one of my favorite fish. Pretty soon he's going to have a tank to himself along with his female. And then in this tank I have a convict cichlid. This is the one convict that survived out of all the convicts that I kept before. I have another female green terror, and then I have a tiny green terror somewhere back there as well. Okay, so the tank after the 90-gallon tank is my 55-gallon geophagus grower tank. By the way, I just did some research, and the name of those fish is temple barbs. Can't believe I completely forgot their name, but just so you all can know, those are temple barbs. Now back to this 90-gallon tank. This is my grower tank. I have a 125 on standby, so when I feel that they are large enough, I will move them all to that 125 and make that another display tank. But for now, they're growing up in this little 55. I have 3 species of geophagus. I actually forgot their names, so I will post them while this video is playing. I also have 2 striped silver dollars and 3 spotted silver dollars. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys saw that little arowana I got going back there. He's just a grow-out fish. I'm not going to go into too much explanation about that guy. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite tanks. I love the activity of these geophagus. I love the color of them and just that natural earth-eating attitude, because that earth-eating thing, the way they attack the substrate and just mix through trying to see what they can find, like what this guy right here is doing, that's just really beneficial when it comes to cleaning the aquarium compared to all the other tanks in this fish room. This one is always the easiest to clean because they just really do a good job of cleaning up after all those uneaten foods and everything like that. Okay, so directly above that tank we have my 125-gallon African cichlid tank. The ruler of this tank is my cobalt red top zebra, and he is definitely an amazing fish. For 2 years he ruled this tank, and I've had a very low amount of aggression, really no problems when it comes to fish damaging other fish or killing other fish. However, lately these hats and peacocks are growing pretty fast, and with that fast growing, they're starting to challenge his authority, one of which was the Nuistus. That's why he's down there, because he was taking half the tank to himself. And some of these other guys are just, as they grow to get more confident in their size, they're really starting to attempt and to try just dominant male, and that's caused a lot of aggression overall inside the tank. I have a few fish with scratches on the fins with a few cloudy eyes, so I'm just going to have to watch to see who's overly aggressive, and I'm just going to try whoever's being overly aggressive, just give them times out, just like I'm doing with that guy. But here's a little look at how the tank is now. Some of the new fish that are just coming into the spotlight are this male Borrelii. He's growing extremely fast. Who else? I have a male Malawi dolphin somewhere in here. This Victorian, he's coming up. And just some of the new guys that I bought a while ago, they're all starting to pick up in size, and they're all starting to try the leader of the tank. So this tank is going to change, but hopefully it's for the better and not for the worse. But that's how it looks as of today. Okay, YouTube, so here's a look at the last tank in the fish room. This is my 40-gallon reef tank. Now, if you've seen my last video, It was just me showing you guys all the corals and trying to give you guys some labels so you can know the names of those corals. So if you haven't saw that video, please be sure to check it out. But I'm just going to give you guys a little look at what's been going on. If you didn't see that video, this right here is the biggest coral in the tank. This is my frog spawn, and it's just growing very nicely, pretty fast too. Right next to it I have my hammer coral, which is looking pretty good. That fish that just swam through is my tail spot blenny. He does a great job when it comes to cleaning up algae. He's always, as you see now, pecking on the rocks looking for algae. Up there I have my devil's hand leather coral. To the left of that I have my colony of yellow polyps, which are growing very fast as well. My goal is just to let them fill up this whole entire front of the rock, and it looks like it's going to do that within this year. If I bring you down here, we have the Exing coral down here. We have the Duncan coral, which is doing awesome. Now it has 5 heads. When I bought it, it had 1 head. Now that second head has 3 more heads growing on it, so that's pretty good. I have these green star polyps, which are doing awesome. The Aiken coral, looking good. This torch coral isn't really doing too good. I moved it from where it was originally, and ever since then it's been doing bad. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. When I moved it back to the same spot which it originally came from, it still didn't really recover, so I just gotta keep an eye on that guy, see what spot is best for him. Over here I have the little mushrooms and button polyps. But overall, this is definitely one of my favorite tanks. Very relaxing, very addictive too as well. I can't stop ordering corals because altogether just all looking awesome. But yeah, this has been a little look at the 40-gallon reef tank. One tank. Okay YouTube, so I decided to throw in a little pond update as well. Now a lot of us on the northeast part of the country are experiencing these warmer temperatures. It's late December and yesterday it was 70 degrees. Today is going to be about 65, so it's definitely a lot warmer than the past winters that we've had. And because of this warmer temperature, the pond isn't really going the same way it went last year, because last year at this time all the fish were hibernating. The waterfall was slower, ice was everywhere, snow was everywhere, and as you can see, things are still functioning. I actually have a fish. This is the biggest fish in the pond right now. A beautiful koi right there. But yeah, the fish are still active and alive. Well, they don't die, but they're still moving. They're not hibernating. So just decided to give you guys a little look at what's going on. And one of the things I love about the pond is just that waterfall. Now, early in the summer, I added some moss to that little corner on your left side, and you can see how it's just spreading all around. Eventually I break pieces off and throw them up there as well, and it's just coming along very nicely, looking very natural, and I just love that whole moss with the waterfall effect, so that's looking good. As far as fish, I keep koi and a few different types of goldfish. I might give you guys a little GoPro action on the side of this video, but yeah, this is the pond. Now, as I said before, the temperatures are warmer, so the fish really don't know what to do as far as hibernating or staying woke. As you can see right now, they are active. But yeah, this is just a little look at the pond. Measuring across about 10 feet. The deep part over there about 5 feet. The shallow part about 1.5 feet. And this is a very relaxing setup for me. Okay YouTube, so that's been a little look at the fish room. You've seen what's going on. And as you all know, this is the new year, so you can expect many additions to this fish room, many changes, because this fish room is just always changing. If we look back here, you can see I have that 125 tank waiting for the geophagus. So as you can imagine, there's a lot coming to my channel. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. For everyone who has hit that button, I want to thank you all because I really appreciate it. Currently I have over 2,000 subscribers, and I want to thank you all for just taking the time to watch my videos, to show that support. I really appreciate it. And as always, feel free to like, comment. If you have any questions, drop them below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Please feel free to share. And that will be all.